Hello YouTube, welcome back to my channel. My name is Neo. Check out this gorgeous, super pretty bling birthday set that I did on my client. If you are interested in seeing how I did it, stay tuned. So this is the set that she came in with. I will link this in the cards. It was that custom glitter Valentino set with the 3D flowers. It lasted really well. She had it for about a month and none of the nails had lifted. This is the first for us. Usually on one finger she always has a little bit of lifting, but as you can see they were holding on nice and strong, which we love. But that was like an in-between set for us. We knew we were going to do something really intense and special for her birthday. So I am going to show you a little bit of the process that I do when it comes down to soaking off like a full set, full complete removal of a set. So first thing you see me doing is taking my straight edge clipper and then clip on the sides, and the nails should, if your application is not too thick in that center portion of the nail, completely just snap off, not hurting the client at all. If there's bling on it, sometimes you have to like pull the bling off, but as you can see, I'm just going in with my 5-in-1 carbide bit. This is a 3 times coarse, so triple extra coarse 5-in-1 bit. It's my favorite bit in terms of removing sets and like for fill-ins and things like that. And what I'm doing here is just thinning down the product. So my focus is just to get it as thin as possible without touching that natural nail. I did not lay down a layer of clear acrylic, so you're going to see the previous colors that she's had. She's had these tips for quite some time, but I knew we wanted to just go super long and have like a slightly different shape for her birthday. So that's why I'm just taking it all the way down. Using my not my 5-in-1, I already said that. I'm using my Young Nails dust collector. Love it. I actually just got a new one. I had one from last year, but it just stopped working. So I called and got a new one with the warranty. Awesome, love it. So I am removing her nails, just grinding down. You saw I used my 5-in-1 to remove rhinestones and stuff. Don't do that. Don't be like me, because it does eat through your bits, but I've got lots of these, so I don't really mind. And I don't really care to go in with pliers unless like it's a lot of bling or something crazy. Most of the time, if it's just like 1 or 2 stones, I'll just go in with my 5-in-1, no problem. But you can see her previous colored sets on her nails. None of those had clear acrylic put down underneath them, so that is my visual guide to say, okay, we're getting down to the very bare of her nail. You do not want to put this 5-in-1 on that natural nail. You can see some of the acrylic going away, and I'm stopping once I see her natural nail. I'm stopping. I do not want to put that on the natural nail. It will burn through, eat through. I have my e-file all the way up at 35,000 RPM, so it is hella aggressive, but I'm just doing my best to thin out the product, and then we're going to go in for a soak off. So I place my client's hands in these soak-off bowls. There's tons of ways to do soak-offs. You can do the little clips for the fingers, foil. I love this because you can put like a hot water bath in it, and it really does push the acrylic to heat up really fast. So I just do this in multiples. So I'll let her sit for about 10 to 15 minutes and then use a orange wood stick to kind of scrape off the acrylic. And then I'll put it back in for 10 to 15 minutes and then do that. By the third time, usually we have a really good clean off the nail. If your acrylic is slimy or sticky when doing that process, it is not EMA, it is MMA, and it's not legal to use on nails. So just be cautious of that. Like if you go to get soak-offs at like your local shop and you notice if it's that slimy consistency, acrylic should be frothy. It should froth up kind of like flaky. I'm not sure how to describe it, but very minimal pressure, very minimal scraping to get it off the nail. So there are bits of red on her nail. That is that Clawley acrylic that we did for her Christmas set. No biggie. It is paper thin at this point, and when I go in with my sanding band, it's gonna come off. So I'm just going in. We're brand new with the new set. I'm so excited for this one. And we're starting fresh. So I sprayed her down with some alcohol. I'm going in with my diamond skiver bit after pushing her cuticles back, and we're just prepping like we normally would. At this point, her nails are in great shape. They look rough with the colors and everything like that. But I promise her nails were super healthy and strong, and we're going to maintain them and try to grow them out a little bit because she's definitely liking how her natural nails look. So I'm just focusing a bit on the prep work because we want these nails to last just as well as the previous set did. So I'm going in with my coarse sanding band from Young Nails. I have the speed all the way down as slow as possible, and I'm using the lightest pressure. You can see that colored acrylic is just flaking off, no problem. Spend a little bit of time just buffing that natural nail. You don't have to do too much because we did soak off, so the nails are a little bit softer due to the moisture. But I am just focusing on smoothing out the surface of the nail, removing as much of that red color from the previous set as possible, and just using the tip of the sanding band to kind of shave down her nails a little bit instead of going in with the hand file. Just use, what's going on here? I think we were talking, but just using the sanding band to kind of file her nails down a little bit as well. Nothing crazy, just using my sanding band, a part of my prep. getting set for a new set, we are going in with these really cool tips that I recently got. These are a 3XL no C-curve square nail. First of all, I love a square tip. Square is so my shape, I'm loving it. And these are a no C-curve. So I'm not gonna lie, there's a mild C-curve. It's not like a completely flat nail, but these are new. I've been seeing them around. And I got them on Amazon, so I'll link them down below, but everybody's selling them at this point. And the beautiful thing about them is that it's a very minimal, almost flat C-curve, which I so appreciate. Usually when you see the square tips, they are that like super deep C-curve nail, and I personally hate a C-curve. My natural nails are very flat to begin with. So I was really excited to try these out on her because I know she likes a little bit of length and she can handle this shape and length. And she's actually the first person I'm trying these tips on, so I was a little bit jealous. I feel like I'm always jealous when my clients come in. When they leave, I'm always looking at them like, I should be wearing that set. But if you're interested in my sets, I'm actually wearing some Apres long natural square tips on my hands, on both of my hands. I wanted to do my nails and I was going to do an acrylic set, but I was just like, man, I don't have time to be doing all that acrylic stuff. So I just grabbed my Apres and got them down, and I actually used the new Beetles gel in a bottle adhesive to get them on, and it did a pretty good job. So I was running low on the Apres Gold Edition clear bottle. I keep saying bottle in a bottle, gel in a bottle, and I was gonna buy a new one. I think it's like $29 or something like that. But then I saw the Beetles one and I tried it, and it worked totally fine and came super fast from Amazon. So love that. So if you're looking for a builder gel in a bottle, definitely check out that Beetles one as well. Yeah, my nails are just Apres with gel polish designs on top. I did encapsulate like some foil on my left hand, and my right hand has some chrome situation with some stars and, you know, whatever, but that's what's happening on my hand. In terms of her, I just made sure to apply those tips as straight as possible. You can see like that finger right in front is really wobbly. Do your best to envision like a straight line down the whole finger. I think of like a skewer, or like using an orange wood stick, placing it on the finger and then aligning that tip like that. I see that in my head. You know, just be cautious. You don't, especially with a long set like this, want to have the clients with wobbly fingernails. It would just look really wild. And now I'm taking my 80/80 hand file, and we are just going to clean up the shape a tiny bit, taper it in just a smidge so that it's not this broad square. Straighten out the tip, the free edge, because I did go in with my straight edge clipper, and blend just a tiny bit. getting set to prime, I'm going in with my Mia Secret Dehydrator. I love this. You can just use like an alcohol rub or an alcohol wipe as well, but I like using this. It's very handy and it does a really good job in terms of drying out that natural nail, especially as we did a soak off. We know that the nail is going to absorb a little bit of that moisture, but this definitely helps to remove that. I'm going in with the Valentino Super Bond. I've been loving it. This is actually the primer that I used on her previous set, and because it lasted so well, I was like, why fix it if it's working? It seems to be working for her, so I'm just going in with that as well. The acrylic of the day, it is a single color acrylic situation, is one that I've used on her before, and I knew she was going to love it, and it looks great on her. This is First Nude by Not Polish. I did use this before on her during the summer. We did this fill-in, I forget what the set was prior to that. It might have been the Queen of Hearts nails. So I'll definitely link the Queen of Hearts nails that we did. Check that out. It was really great and awesome, and I pushed myself to do some really cool hand-painted work. And then she came in for a fill-in, wanted the same base color, so we did the same First Nude acrylic with some jelly kind of sheer tie-dye nails that were really, really cool for summer. Love those actually, because that was right when the trend was like popping off. With the blooming gel and like that gator skin technique or whatever, but we did it with like super neon jelly colors and it came out really, really good. So definitely check out those videos, but I knew this color was going to be perfect on her. And I wanted something a little bit nude, but not too warm or cool, just something that would not stand out too much against her skin tone, and this was a great one. This is by Not Polish, it's First Nude. Because these nails are a little bit longer than I'm used to doing and that she's used to wearing, structure is so important here. You don't want to have like a completely flat nail. I promise you they will not last, or you'll get those tiny like micro fractures on the side walls of your nails. That's a surface breakdown. You know, you don't have enough support on the nail. I am making sure to apply enough product and in the right areas so that she can exist in this world doing everything that she normally does with these super, super long nails. And she was just kind of like, damn, like these are kind of long. And I was like, yep, it's your birthday, so let's do it. And she totally trusted me, so love her for that. But just going in with a simple one color acrylic application on all of the nails. I'm not going to be clear capping. And yeah, I'm using my Kiara Sky size 14 brush. What's crazy though is like, I remember when I first got the size 14 and I was like, damn, this is a really small 14. And then I was like, I think I want a bigger size. Got the 16. I was like, damn, this 16 is too big. Then I got used to using the 16. And now I'm like, oh, this feels great. I love this 16. And then I actually picked up the 14 to do this set that day. And was like, why does this brush feel so tiny? It's just so funny to see how things have been changing for me. But yep, I'm using the Kiara Sky brush. I'm also using the Not Polished monomer, so just making sure to use the same monomer as the acrylic. And we're just building up structure as best as we can. Definitely just stay tuned and watch this acrylic application. and I'm sure you are loving this application. They look so good on her. Structure is looking great. You know what time it is. It is time to e-file. I'm going in with my medium carbide bit. It is a non-safety, and we're just smoothing the surface of these nails, debulking where necessary, and just making sure there's a smooth transition from the thin bit of the cuticle to the apex towards the middle of the nail down to the free edge, which gets a little bit thinner as well. Yeah, nothing crazy. You can see the application looks fairly great, but I'm just feeling the nail texture wise to make sure that there's no lumps or bumps or like divots or anything like that in it. I just want a nice smooth application because we're going to be doing a lot on top of these nails. And even from here, the nails look really, really great, but they are not super, super sharp. So I've got that same 80/80 hand file, and taking my time and being careful around the client's actual sidewalls, because it is a super, super sharp hand file. I'm just going to be sharpening up the shape, cleaning up the sidewalls of the nails, and tapering the nails in just a smidge. I don't want them to be super broad squares. And then making that free edge just like that, nice and sharp by squeezing the top and bottom of the nail. So I like to put my thumb on top, and then my ring and middle, not ring and middle finger, my ring finger and my pinky on the bottom of the nail. Especially these are a little bit longer. You don't want to have the client's nail wobbling. It is super painful and uncomfortable for them. But that's pretty much what I'm doing. You can see I don't spend very much time filing. It's my least favorite part of doing nails. So the least I can file, the better it is for me. I just focus really hard on my acrylic application. It might take me longer than other people, but it just means more to me to not have to do too much of this stuff because I hate hand filing. So after going in with my hand file, I knew we were going to be doing a bit of gel polish application. So just to give the nails a little bit of texture, I'm going in with this buffing block on the tops and bottoms of the nail, just making sure to give it a really good rub down, just to have a tiny bit of texture on the nail so that the gel has something to stick to and to smooth out any possible scratches that might be there from the hand and or e-file. spraying her down with some more alcohol just to make sure that we can then dehydrate and clean the cuticle areas of the nails. I don't want any dust or debris there, especially because we're going to go in with some gel polish and bling application. I just want a nice, smooth, clean base to kind of work on. So to get started, we are going to be painting these nails white. So the middle finger on both hands is going to be painted white. And when doing super opaque colors like black or white or like deep purple or turquoise, like super deep colors, it is best to work in a very thin coat. So if it looks uber patchy, no worries, by the end it won't. I'm doing multiple coats. That is because the light to cure these products has to pass through the product. So if you apply a super thick base, the light may not be able to get through. That's kind of how you get that warping or like rippling you might see sometimes in your gel polish. That means you went in definitely too thick, and the light had some difficulty kind of getting through and curing that product. So as you can see, I'm using super dry brushes to kind of just get a base color on, and then just spreading it out nice and thin so that we don't have any issues. I'm going to clean my sidewalls and cure. We're going to go in with a second coat, and you're going to see how nice and bright white this is. Beautiful. And same thing, nice and thin coat. And because we went in two thin coats versus one thick coat, the nail hasn't warped its shape. It still looks nice and smooth, and we get nice white application. Once satisfied with that, I'm gonna clean my sidewalls, have the client cure for 30 seconds, and that is locked down. Moving on to her ring finger, we're gonna be using some white liner striper brushes. I talk about these all the time. I swear by them, and I think they're fantastic. Get these off of Amazon and or AliExpress, and nothing crazy. We're just doing this really cool swirl on her middle, what is this finger? Her ring finger. Her ring finger. I'm gonna do this in white, making the middle of the line a little bit thicker, because I'm gonna be putting bling on top of it, and then making the ends to kind of taper into like a finer line. Nothing crazy. I'm gonna cure that and then do it again in gold, and then have her cure. But before that, clearly I'm not having the client cure because I don't cure nails in between for some reason. I am going to be doing some French on all of the other nails. So one nail solid white, one nail with the swirl, and then the rest of the three nails will have a deep almondy French using this white. And again, as you can see, it's not a perfect coating. I am going to be doing a lot on top of it, so it won't show perfectly, but I just wanted a nice white base. I'm focused on building that shape of the French versus having this super clean, opaque coating of the white on the tip of the nail, if that makes sense. Once happy with that, I'm going to have the client cure the entire hand, I guess, because I don't like having the client cure in between. So if you were curious about how I do my French, I always start by doing a center line down the middle of the nail, kind of where I want the French to kind of go up to. Then I focus on going up the sidewalls on both sides and then slowly tapering in the sidewalls into that rounded area. I know some people do it like they draw like a T and then they draw like a star and then they round out the edges. I've seen that. That's pretty cool. But for me, I try to just focus going on one side to the other. I feel like if you focus on one side, your French is not going to be straight. So I try to just go from right to left, back to right to left, back to right to left, just to make sure that things are super, super even. And then again, working as thin as possible and using the liner in a way where I'm not doing too many tiny strokes. I'm working that French area. You can see I'm just dragging that brush around and around. I'm not drawing tiny little strokes. You want a nice smooth application, so just let the brush do the job for you. Just lay the brush on the nail and just kind of drag it, and it will kind of just flex and curl in its own way and make that beautiful, beautiful French for you. Cleaning my sidewalls, and then we will cure the entire hand. So here's where I'm going in with this gold liner brush. I promise you guys, like, I should show you my collection of liner brushes at this point, or liner gel stripers. I have so freaking many, and I am always on Amazon checking for new colors, like fall edition colors and spring edition colors. I just got this nude set that was super cool with like different types of browns and beiges and like light pinks. Love it. But this is a gold one. Can't tell you where it's from. It's just one of the ones that I have. And I outlined that swirl that we did on her ring finger, had the client cure, and then that was that. So I am mixing another glitter color for her. This is actually Core White by Young Nails, and I mixed in some of that sheer iridescent glitter because that's going to come in a little bit later. But at this point, it is time for bling, and the bling in this set is insane, guys. Like, when she told me she wanted to do a birthday set, this is immediately where my mind went. I know this client. She's been coming to me actually now for a year, so happy anniversary to us. But I know her style. She likes it nice and simple for the most part in terms of color, but she loves her some bling. I love the bling, and I knew I wanted to go gold for her. So I'm going in with the Bling Gel Method, and we are going matte with these nails. So that's what you saw me applying. A big dollop of that too, guys. No wipe top coat bling gel, and then I went in over it with Matte It by Not Polish. And then we have 2 layers of uncured gel. This is where I'm going to be sticking all of these charms for this set, at least for now. So like I mentioned, I wanted gold and bling. So I'm going in with 3 kind of studded hoops around the center part of that thickest portion of the white swirl that we drew. I'm going to place some rhinestones in there and then just cover the rest of the white swirl with rhinestones, kind of tapering to smaller and smaller rhinestones. So the middle rhinestone is the largest. It tapers to 2 smaller ones in those gold rings, and then slowly using smaller and smaller rhinestones that kind of taper with the white line. And then to keep the gold going up, because the center 3 stones had studded rings around them, I'm going to go in with these tiny, tiny gold charms, and kind of like you would do with caviar beads. I actually intended to use caviar beads, but found out that I had like these half studs that would lay flat on the nail, and I know caviar beads pop out so easily, so it just worked out that I found them, and then I'm going to use that. So slowly using smaller and smaller crystal AB rhinestones, there you go, only on the swirl. And I just think that adding the gold added so much more dimension that wouldn't have been there if I didn't. So totally love that, and that gold line just kind of reinforces the gold. So now I'm just going to go in with those gold half dome. They're really tiny, not caviar beads, they're like half circles, so they're rounded on one edge and flat on the other, and I'm just using them between every single rhinestone. So 2 on each rhinestone, kind of like on the outer edges of the rhinestones. One thing with bling gel you're going to see me struggling with is that it moves, okay? So the more items you're placing on that nail, you need to work as fast as possible. I was hustling during this bling set portion of the set because the items kept moving. You're going to see them slowly shifting. By the time you're done with one area, you got to kind of push everything back. So it's just really important, if you're doing the Bling Gel Method and you're doing a big portion of the nail, not like a tiny little area, that you move quickly. You can see that I'm readjusting constantly because you don't want to just, you know, focus on one side and have the client cure, because the bling will not be straight, I promise. But it's a beautiful, beautiful method, and it's really secure. I find that when I do this, very few stones ever get lost because it's sitting in 2 layers of gel. Also, if you're going to go matte, this is a great option because then you don't have to top coat afterwards either. So again, I'm going to straighten up the bling after I'm done applying these gold hoops, wipe my sidewalls, clean my free edge, and then have the client cure for 60 seconds to lock this nail down. Next is my middle finger, nothing crazy. We are just going to matte top coat this nail. It's going to get a whole lot more after this, but I just wanted to make sure that we top coated it first. So nothing crazy, matte top coat, 30 seconds, and it's done. So for the pinky and the thumb, they're getting the exact same treatment. As you saw, I only applied the bling gel kind of right underneath that French area, and it's a beautiful almondy French. Looks nice and long and tapered like I like. Then I'm going in with Matte It from Not Polished, giving it a nice generous coating. When painting over the bling gel, you don't want to dig your brush into it because you will disrupt it and kind of get streaks in your matte top coat. You kind of want to float it over that area and use a very, very light touch to kind of smooth out that bling gel so you don't get like lumps and bumps afterwards. And then I'm just going to start building up a small kind of dainty little rhinestone pattern. This is going to happen on the pinky and the thumb equally. I'm going to also use those same gold charm study things that I did on the swirl finger, just to incorporate more gold in the set as well. I think that the gold was a nice touch as well. Once done, I'm going to clean my sidewalls, etc., have the client cure for 60 seconds, and then this and the thumb will be done. Alrighty, for her and our and mine, this was our favorite nail. So the pointer finger is getting hella bling, guys. I'm going in with a huge dollop of my bling gel. Again, matte top coat being floated right on top of it, making sure to get it up nice and tight in that cuticle and sidewall area. You want to cover the entire nail so that you're not getting patches of shine through. But again, giving myself a good base to stick these items in. We've got some really chunky pieces to throw in there. And this is the nail that I was really thinking about for the long time while waiting to do this set on her. It came out so great and I loved it. So I'm just going to build up this random rhinestone design using larger pieces that I got from like AliExpress like almost a year ago at this point. Crystal AB rhinestones, gold charms, pieces, just, you know, building it up so that it's nice and chunky but also elegant at the same time and not super bulky on her nail. Once done, I'm going to clean her sidewalls, free edge, etc. Make sure that everything is nice and aligned. Remember, bling gel does move, so just going back in and making sure that everything is nice and straight, and then have the client cure for 60 seconds to lock this finger down. So at this point, all of the nails are actually done and top coated, but I just felt like we need just a little bit more happening. So we're gonna add some texture. You saw me custom mix some white glitter for her, white acrylic glitter earlier. So I'm taking that same white striper brush and we are painting on some fairly thick white, I guess, patches or stripes of gel polish on this nail. I'm being super careful to go around the bling that we did place on that white of the French. I was thinking actually like how to do this because I knew that I wanted texture on the French areas or the white areas of her nails. I just didn't really know how to go about it. I do it two different ways in this video. So the first one that you're gonna see is me doing the whole design and then going around everything with the white gel and then adding the acrylic glitter powder combination afterwards. But on her middle finger, I'm actually going to do the texture first and then do the bling after. So it's a little bit different, but they both work. Definitely we'll see when she comes back which one lasted longer. But it was just weird because I knew I really wanted texture on the nails and bling. I just didn't know how to get both in a really feasible way, but I made it work. You know, definitely try it, or if you've done it, let me know and tell me which way works for you. But for sure I wanted the texture because it definitely just adds a little bit of something special, especially to like this big old white nail, like it's just a white nail. But the texture definitely makes it a little bit more special, and you can see the glitter sparkling on the matte portions of where I'm applying this gel polish right now. So it was extra special. Bling from the rhinestones gave us a little sparkle, and the glitter from the texture gave us a little bit of sparkle. So a beautiful birthday set. Just making sure to place the side stripes in between the center stripes, and just to use a good amount of gel. You don't want to use like super fine layers of gel because you won't get the texture. The whole beauty of it is to have the tone on tone or even a different color. You want it to be raised up a little bit. So I'm going in with my thick white gel, and then I'm going to apply a good coating of that gel, of the white acrylic on top of it, making sure that it really soaks into that product, and then have the client cure, and then you can wipe off after. So continuing on around this pointer finger that has so much going on. So again, just taking my time to be super careful and not touching any of the bling work or the metal work that is on that pointer finger. And then just drawing the texture with the same liner brush. As you can see, I'm just kind of floating on that thick product. Oop, knocked over my whole acrylic. Thank goodness I had a napkin down there because that was super annoying. And then I'm gonna, again, douse the nail with the same white acrylic glitter combination, cure, and then this will have that texture as well. Doing the same thing on this super gorgeous thumbnail. So at this point, all of the nails that have white on them have gotten the texture, and it's really great because none of it affected any of the bling, which is great, but you have that texture there, which I really, really wanted and thought was special. Look at the thumb. Beautiful, right? So the next thing that I wanted to do, I was actually going to leave it like this, but I was like, I need to put some bling on this middle finger. So I am not using the Bling Gel Method. I'm actually using my Zule Bling adhesive because, again, I could not figure out for the life of me. I was telling her, keep that finger close because I don't remember what I did. I suffer from that all the time. I'll get into it and do this crazy bling pattern on one nail and then be like, hey, wait, huh? So I said, put that hand back over here because I don't remember what I did. But yeah, like I mentioned earlier, I didn't know how to, after adding the texture, use bling gel to get these items to stay. So I figured I'd just use my Zule Bling adhesive. It does add a little bit of a shine around those pieces. I was like, keep your hand close, girl, because I can't see. It does add a tiny bit of shine around those pieces because remember, it is a matte nail with a matte texture on top of it, but it did a good job in holding on to those blings. So we definitely talked about it, and I was like, I'm curious to see how these are going to last versus the Bling Gel Method on top of the texture. But I think it's great with the texture and the bling. I think it's definitely something we needed, and every single nail is covered with bling and gold, and it's super gorgeous. Remember, this is for her birthday. I would love this set for myself, but I love her. Happy birthday to her and happy anniversary. I'm still a new nail tech, so the idea that someone has been coming to me like loyally for a year is just awesome to consider, you know, to think back on. But yep, just adding some bling using my Zule Bling adhesive. Once done, I'm going to spray her down with some quick spray, and then we are finally done. So that's it. I'm spraying her down with some quick spray. The nails are dry, and this is your shot. These nails were a work of love. I think they came out so amazing. So much bling, so much detail going on. Hopefully you like it. What kind of nails do you think you would want for your birthday? This is definitely something that I would wear. I'm so happy that she loved them and that I was able to, from my brain, kind of come up with this amazing idea for her. Thank you for watching. Like if you like, subscribe for more. Definitely check out the rest of my videos. I'm loving that. I'm so enjoying seeing this, you know, Neo nail family grow. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.